Hi, welcome to the Vehicle System Forensics Training Programme. My name is Noel Loudon. I'm one of the co-founders and directors at Happshore Investigation Consultants, and we specialise in maximising data opportunities from the modern motor vehicle that assist serious crime and serious collision investigations both here in the UK and overseas. I'm also the founder of the Vehicle Network, which is a unique platform set up as a resource centre and networking platform for those people involved in automotive investigations. In this video, I'm going to give you all the information you need in order to decide which modules out of the Vehicle System Forensics Training Programme are most applicable for you in your self-development. This is a brand new venture, it's a brand new course, but it's just at the right time when people do need the information to either take them on to the next level of Vehicle System Forensics or to introduce them to it because they're new into role. So without further ado, I'll talk you through the different modules that form part of the programme. The Vehicle System Forensics Training Programme has been broken down into 6 different modules. Modules 1 to 4 concentrate on navigating the students from the crime scene all the way through to the courtroom. These areas have been identified by us as key components within the Vehicle System Forensics examination process if successful outcomes are to be made. Understanding how each module interfaces with another allows students to be able to maximise the process and have effective investigations. Module 5 concentrates on workplace support and implementation. For those students that have been to any of the modules 1 to 4, then there is an option for support to be provided through the Vehicle Network application, which will give them access to resources and to information that may assist them in the workplace and improve the quality of their investigations. Module R looks at automotive cybersecurity and reverse engineering. Students and investigators around vehicle system forensics need to have an awareness of the automotive cybersecurity scene. We're one of the only places in the country that has access to 2 rigs whereby ethical hacking can be performed in a safe environment, and a lot of learning can take place in respect of this emerging field of forensics. It should be noted that each module is not mandatory. We've designed this training package so that people can come on just one or all of the modules if they so wish. It's entirely up to you as to which module best suits your training needs going forwards. Continue to listen as I give an overview of each module in order for you to make a decision which is best for you. Module 1. Vehicle Systems, Planning and Strategies. In this module we will give you an introduction to vehicle system forensics. We will look at all the different vehicle systems that are on a modern motor vehicle that can be exploited for useful investigative data. In order to be effective in any vehicle system forensics examination, it's important that we have a good plan and strategy on how we're going to exploit those systems, what tools we're going to use, what evidential and crime scene considerations we're going to give to the examination of the vehicle. We will explain some of the pitfalls that can occur in the examination and how to take account of those for in planning. This module will be hosted in the Vehicle Network application. All the resources will be made available within there, such as the presentations and any handout material. It will contain video content and it will also contain photographs. We will help you to devise your own plans and your own strategies, and we will give the knowledge and confidence for you to take those forward and back into the workplace whereby you are confident in developing strategies for vehicle system forensics examinations. This is a really important phase of the process. It lays the foundations for everything else that follows. And it is often brought back to this point when we get to the end stage and can be in court. We're asked about our strategies and our plans that we had in place at that time. So it's important that we have a robust method for recording the strategy and the plan for the vehicle system forensics examination that's to follow. Module 2. Vehicle Examinations. Become confident with your vehicle system forensics examinations. This module is a must for those first responders responsible for vehicle system forensics examinations at the vehicle. We will take students through examinations of various different motor vehicles and explain the way in which data acquisitions can be maximised whilst at the vehicle, so that when the vehicle is left, we know that we have acquired every data type that we need in order to maximise the process. There are many different types of in-vehicle acquisitions that we can perform, and these will be explained during this module. Handling vehicles is also an important part of this process. We need to make sure that we are safe in handling the vehicle and dismantling it. These areas will be covered as part of this module. It should also be noted that electric vehicles and high voltage vehicles present a real danger to vehicle system forensics investigators. We are fortunate that we have James Wales, who is our in-house vehicle technology expert, but is also a high voltage and electric vehicle expert at Audi. James is available to give us an overview of those safety precautions that need to be made when handling electric vehicles. It cannot be underestimated the health and safety implications of this part of the process. We cannot pick and choose what vehicles are involved in offences for which we are investigating, and therefore investigators need to be aware of the potential dangers and pitfalls when handling these vehicles. We will look at best practice on how we document an examination and what we need to do in order to make the process repeatable if we are working towards ISO standards in this field. James is also on hand to talk us through vehicle networks. He has built a vehicle system forensics rig out of components which will be available for students who want to learn that little bit extra around vehicle networks and see how communication takes place across the different ECUs on a modern motor vehicle. This will allow students to become more confident when they are explaining data further down the line in Module 4. This is an in-person course at our UK training centre, and it will be the next phase of the training programme before we move into component examination. Module 3. Component examinations. Increase your vehicle system forensics capabilities. In this module, we will teach students how to acquire data from electronic control units that have already been removed from the vehicle. These are commonly referred to as benchtop examinations. This will be an in-person course at our training facility here in the UK. In this module, students will learn how to acquire data from infotainment modules in a non-destructive manner. These modules have often been difficult to access in the past. Our company has carried out a lot of research and development with regards to accessing data in a non-destructive manner to provide solutions to those investigators that require it. These techniques will be taught to students in order that they can be self-sufficient and carry out these processes when they are back in the workplace. The infotainment module will be looked at with regards to its architecture, the disassembly instructions for an infotainment module, and how we safe handle an electronic component on the bench. This all goes towards maximising the process and best practice when we look at handling electronic evidence. We will look at the different storage mediums that are found in modern infotainment systems, and we will look at some of the techniques that we have employed in Module 2 in order to overcome some of the more difficult encryptions that are seen on some of the recent systems that are out there at the moment. We will look at the file systems that come off the various different storage mediums and how to rebuild that data so that it's meaningful for investigators to take their case forward. We will also look at some of the other electronic control units that are seen on a modern motor vehicle. Engine remaps are often an area of interest to investigators to find out whether the performance of a vehicle has been increased or not. We will also look at airbag control modules, how we read those, and the difficulties that those present in reconstructing data from them. We will also look at third-party devices that are fit to motor vehicles and the components that are seen in a myriad of different worlds within the automotive industry. We will look at telematics control units, and we will also look at third-party tracking devices. This module will allow students to become self-sufficient in module examinations and increase their capability with solutions for vehicle system forensics. Module 4. Data analysis and reporting. Recovering the data from a modern motor vehicle is a really difficult task. However, once we've got that data from the vehicle, then reporting on it and understanding its source and its limitations is just as important, if not more important, if we are to have an effective investigation. The modern motor vehicle can give us many different data types. It's important that we understand the source of that data and its limitations if we are to be effective. Other digital investigations may be being carried out in conjunction with the vehicle, and we can end up with a lot of data when we are trying to make sense of it. So data analysis is really important. On this module, we will have Dwayne Watkins joining us from JTOL with GeoTime software that will allow people to make sense of a lot of data in a short space of time. You may already have your solutions for data analysis and dealing with masses of data, or you may not have any solutions. But as a vehicle system forensics investigator, or an analyst on serious crime or serious collision investigations, understanding that data and processing it is a vital part of the process. Understanding data limitations is really important. Data sources such as speed from a motor vehicle, certain parameters need to be applied to that speed. Certain checks need to have been made in Modules 2 and Modules 3 surrounding its plausibility. One of the most common data types we see on digital devices is GPS. GPS data is used in many investigations, but it's probably one of the least understood subjects, and there is little training or resources out there in respect of being able to understand this important area of technology properly if we are to have an effective report at the end of a vehicle system forensics examination. Joining us on this module will be National Crime Agency expert Ray Ford, who is a GPS expert here in the UK. He's also worked internationally on various different operations. Ray's knowledge around GPS technologies is second to none. People attending this module will get the unique insight into how GPS technologies work, some of the vulnerabilities that may apply to GPS technology, and what reliance we need to place on it when we are putting it into a report. We will look at how we construct a report that will be fit for court purposes, taking into account some of the pitfalls that are often seen where cases become undone at court. We will provide you with the tools necessary to provide a robust evidential product that meets the requirements of both courts here in the UK and those in other countries. It's this part of the module that is of real relevance and real importance if you have followed through on Modules 1 and Modules 2 and Modules 3 so that it's not all undone at the very last minute. Module 5. Workplace Implementation and Support. We realise that the real training takes place back in the workplace. I can personally testify that having carried out vehicle system forensics examinations for the last 6 to 7 years, it can often feel a lonely and challenging place when you are trying to overcome some of the difficulties that can be faced in this discipline. As part of Module 5, and for those people that have been on any of the modules 1 through to 4, we want to give you the option to be able to access resources that we think would be useful for you when you are back in the workplace. This could be from video teardowns of cars that you've never encountered before, to video teardowns of infotainment systems that you've not seen before. It could be that we develop a new solution for a module and we can feed that out to you via that platform. This will be hosted within the Vehicle Network application, and it will be very much up to you as an individual as to where you need the support and what support you need in order for you to be effective. And that will dictate which areas of the Vehicle Network application you access for that support. We also have a community section and a messaging section within the Vehicle Network application that will give you a direct line of communication to us no matter whereabouts we are on our mobile devices. Videos and photographs could be sent through, and we would aim to get back to you as soon as possible with any of the difficulties that you encounter as part of that support programme. We also want to look at the way that this training programme is accredited, and we are in discussions with the Institute of Motor Industry around that accreditation at the moment. Other bodies within the digital arena are also keen to associate with us, and those discussions are ongoing. It is my belief at the moment that we will put some knowledge checks in place for these different modules that you attend on, but there is no specific examination at this stage. Personally, and from having carried out this role for a number of years, I firmly believe that people would be better suited to doing a work-based type assessment and perhaps giving a fictional scenario or a case study to those investigators who are keen to test their skills and put it towards some type of accreditation. I would welcome any feedback from people that have attended any of the modules or have got any views on how they would like to be assessed so that it can be driven forward by the community rather than being dictated to by us. Module R. Reverse Engineering and Automotive Cybersecurity. The Vehicle System Forensics Investigator needs an awareness around automotive cybersecurity and the implications of reverse engineering vehicle systems. The automotive industry is going through a massive transition at the moment. The technologies that are being developed are at risk of a cyber attack. Whilst the automotive cybersecurity scene is doing its utmost and manufacturers are working hard to make sure that this doesn't happen, we know that systems can always be compromised. We've seen this in the shape of relay attacks where cars are being stolen, and this would be classed as a cyber attack on a vehicle. The implications of compromising some of those systems that are being developed at the moment could mean the risk of serious injury or death in investigations that are yet to follow. So it's important that we have an awareness around this particular topic as the scene develops and unfolds. It gives me great pleasure to say that we will have Ian Tabor with us for this particular module. Ian developed a car in a box, and it is a platform whereby people can perform ethical hacks and compromise vehicle networks in a safe environment. Ian has done many presentations at Car Hacking Village, both here in the UK and overseas. His knowledge is second to none around vehicle systems and the safety critical components that are required to make them safe. This will be an in-person course at our training centre here in the UK. Students will have the opportunity to work with Ian and develop hardware and software and to perform an ethical hack on a vehicle system. We will also have our vehicle system forensics rig as well, which can also be used to perform ethical hacks on. This is a rare and unique opportunity. To perform vehicle hacks in an ethical and safe environment is limited. To perform them on real-life vehicles can often be costly and expensive. This area is for those students that want to gain a little bit more knowledge around the automotive cybersecurity scene and those implications of reverse engineering. Thank you for listening to this video which explains the Vehicle System Forensics Training Programme. A prospectus is included within this section and can be downloaded. However, if you do have any other questions or require further information, then please email training@harpershaw.co.uk and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. For students wishing to start Module 1, this can be accessed immediately from within the Vehicle Network application and self-study can begin. For students wishing to attend our training centre here in the UK to complete Modules 2, 3, 4 or R, then please complete the registration form that's also contained within this section and we will onboard you. We look forward to welcoming you on whichever modules you decide to undertake in order to further your development within vehicle system forensics.